So I'm here at a local lake trying to catch some trout, maybe catfish. Trying to bring a fish or two home, maybe do a catch and clean and cook video. Power bait. This one's a chartreuse color. It's a good one. There's a couple colors I really like. And I might use this one today, which is, I think it's called sherbet. Yep. It's like orange and pink. So I'm right by this flowage thing. Trout like to hang out near moving water. Catfish aren't much different there. I got about a 1/4 ounce of line weight on the light rod because it casts pretty well. A 1/2 ounce on my heavier rod. This is the Lose XJ Xfinity. This is just an ugly stick GX2. This is a Lose Speed Stick Xfinity thing. Alright, I moved. I was over there. Now I'm here. There was a family here when I got here, but this is the spot I've had the most success in, the spot I normally use. The dock's pretty cool over there too, but there's a lot of people over there right now, and I'll give them their space. I'm gonna put one of each color out. We got sherbet, looks delicious, but I bet it tastes terrible. Hopefully it looks good to the trout. And this is gonna have chartreuse or yellow, whatever you want to call it. It's like a yellow green. And this one will get orange, so we'll have one of each color out. Red, green, pink, white also work. All those colors, mixtures of those colors. There's one that's like green, yellow, and orange. I forget what it's called, but that one works. I see a lot of people using that. It's like almost rainbow, but thank goodness. There we go, beautiful trout. Should have used the net, but I didn't expect it. There it is. Let's get that. Pretty nice one. Good eater there. All right, at this point, it's starting to get late and my battery is right about to die. So I had plenty of bites, but I only landed one trout and it was a decent keeper. So now I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna clean it and I'm gonna cook it up for you guys. Stay tuned. All right, here we are with our nice trout we caught. All right, if they're still alive and you want to kill them, the easiest way I found, this one's dead. I'm not going to show that on video. But what's really quick, just slit their gills, just good cut on each side. And either just put them in a bucket of water or some cold water and leave them there. Or if you're on the bank of a river or the lake, just take them after you've slit them and just swish them around. And it should only take 10-20 seconds and they'll be bled out and completely dead. And the bleeding's good too, because it keeps, if you don't bleed them out, which I actually did not do with this one, they'll sit there and bleed into the meat for a while. And so that's when you get all that red, all the blood and stuff in the meat. Anyway, we're gonna get a weight and a measurement on this guy. See what we got. Yeah, 13 1/4. So it's 13 1/4 inch. Let's get a weight on it. Get a weight on this guy. "13 ounces, just under a pound." I got a couple that are either 2 pounds or just under. right after they stocked. Those were nice ones. I released some and I kept a couple as well. It's my aunt, she likes to cook them up whole. Just gut them and she leaves them whole, so she likes the big ones. Alright, so let's get right to it. I wouldn't just use any normal kitchen knife. I'd use a fillet knife. They're super flexible. There go my dogs barking. They're super flexible and thin, and they're what you're gonna want. So what I do here, a lot of people will, like what I used to do, I would cut it here, I would slit it down the middle, and I would rip the guts out that way. I just fillet this a little bit different now. I feel like this is faster. So I just start at the tail here. I use my fingers as a clamp. I just pinch that down. And when you saw, I try to push the knife down, kind of like this, and try to keep the blade as close to, I think I can feel the bone, you know, the spine, and don't go past it. If you're pushing around really hard, you'll cut through it and it'll ruin your fillets. But just give enough pressure where you feel like you're keeping flat and you're not coming up into the meat. So that's one fillet. Still got to take the bones out. But that's what that looks like right there. We'll go ahead and do this side. If there's a lot of meat left right here, you can go ahead and do that and get what's left. There's really not much on this guy, and some of that's bone that I got into because there's really not much on there. But I just kind of want to show that for demonstration. I might use, you know, a little piece like that for my dogs for a treat or something like that. I like to keep a bucket on hand to throw all the guts and stuff. But before I throw that in, this guy swallowed the hook. And hooks get expensive, so I just cut into the guts and get my hook back there. Sometimes they swallow the hook, it's unfortunate, but gotta get your hook back. And this guy, you can also see, in case you don't remember what type of bait you were using, if you were using power bait or something, if you weren't using the lure. This guy ate the sherbet colored power bait. So that tells me for next time that this is an effective color. I'm not going to save that bait or anything. That's a way to figure out what they're eating. So the last step here, pretty important. And if I were inside or even outside with the hose, I would have washed this cutting board in between. But I will wash these fillets before we get to cooking them. But that's basically a finished fillet. I could have done a little better on the bottom, keeping some more meat, but just wash that off and that's gonna cook up nice. This is a better looking fillet right here. That's kind of what you're going for. And I leave the skin on. I cook it with the skin on. You can remove the skin later if you want before eating it. So I'm gonna take these fillets inside and we're gonna wash them off, and then we're going to season them and go ahead and cook them up. All right, so I got my fillets here. I rinsed them off and got some of that blood off. A little cleaner looking now. And this is a sheet of tin foil or aluminum foil. I just sprayed it with some of this non-stick spray, cooking spray. So I put that down. And obviously if I had caught more fish, I'd fill this whole thing up and grill a bunch at once, but this is part of the reason why I'm grilling it and not frying it, because I didn't feel like making the whole mess of frying literally just 2 fish fillets. Using 3 seasonings here: Old Bay, basil, garlic powder. Keeping it simple. This Old Bay has all the salt and pepper you need, so I don't add any salt and pepper. If you like stuff super salty, maybe put a tiny bit, but I would recommend not if you're trying out Old Bay for the first time. So I just put a little bit. Lightly season the skin side as well. I'm probably gonna end up eating the skin. Call me crazy. Then a little bit of basil. There we go. This is what we got. That's our fillets. Basil, garlic powder, and Old Bay. These 3. Simple as that. And then I take some olive oil. Like literally just a tiny bit. And I just drizzle a tiny bit on top there. Maybe one more for them both. And then flip them real quick. And we're going to take these fillets outside and we're going to grill these babies. Alright, here we are outside. Just fired the grill up. I've got it on low, like almost as low as it can go. Very low heat. Sorry for the bad light out here. But yeah, I'm going to put them in there. And these are thin fillets. Shut that. These are thin fillets, but I'm gonna go ahead and check these in about 3 minutes and flip them over. You don't want to do more than 3 or 4 minutes a side when you got little thin fillets like that. If you overdo them, they won't be nearly as good. Alright, it's been about 3.5 minutes. We'll see if these things are ready to flip. They're already starting to curl up. Still a little pink and not very hot. Probably give them a little longer. Give them another minute or 2 and then flip them. Alright, so they've had about 5 minutes total on this side. 3.5 and then another minute and a half. See, it's almost 2 done right there in the middle. But the outside's still a little pink, so flip these guys over. The middle's pretty much getting done. The outsides and around the skin is still needs some time, so I'm gonna give it about 4 minutes and come back. So we did 5 minutes on the first side. We'll do about 4 minutes on this side. See what it looks like. All right, I gave it about 3 minutes on that side, maybe 3.5. I want to check it just so it doesn't get overdone. Yeah, and it's pretty hot on the bottom. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn them now. And honestly, these are getting pretty close. They smell really good. I definitely worked up the appetite out there. Missing all those bites. Alright, so try to get it flat. You don't want it to curl and have some part not make contact, not get cooked. Alright, so I'm gonna leave those for another 3 minutes, and they should actually be done at that point. Alright, I gave it a 2.5, maybe 3 more minutes. And it's, if you look at it, I just flipped it over and checked it a second ago. It's done. You'll know it'll be completely hot all the way in the middle. And if you cut it, the middle will be white, not clear. See that? So I'm gonna take this delicious meal I just made inside and give her a taste test. Finished product. Delicious grilled rainbow trout. And of course I had to have some bread and butter too. From lake to the end of my line to the cutting board to the grill and now into my mouth. First bite. Oh man, it's good. It's good fried. It's good in soup. I've had tacos. I've had rainbow trout, fajitas, pizza, nachos. This is delicious. It's not as good as like some wild trout, but man. Here, you try some. Delicious. Now that I've had some delicious trout, I'm gonna go cook up those little pieces I had for the dogs and give them their share.